All right, I had some of you guys tell me that it wasn't streaming on your Schuylkill Valley accounts. I did go into YouTube and approve the Kazuka Science channel for you guys. So hopefully you're seeing it now. I did say I'd be back in about half an hour. I got a couple of people logging in right now. Let me know if you can see me or if you can hear me. Not YouTube famous yet. So back to sixth grade. Sixth grade, you're working on that Scratch programming. Now's the time to get that game working from start to finish. Even if your partners don't have sections at work, if you can bring that code in and those levels in, you have lots of time. You have lots of time to work on this code, and you could get that game to go from start to finish. You could even modify it in different ways. You're probably going to learn a lot more just clicking around and finding out how to use those new blocks and stuff like that. Mess around with the variables, create new variables, assign blocks. Those block assignments make that coding a lot easier. What I want you to do is get that game finished. Emerson and I are going to have a spreadsheet available for you where you're going to submit the name of your game. You're going to put the link to your game, and then that's going to be open to everybody so they can all play your different Scratch games. And then they can give you comments on the intro site where the game plays. All right, I got a couple people on. I'm going to take it that means this is working. For fifth grade, we have a project coming up for you. It deals with recycling. So I want you to look around your house right now and think about all the materials that will be going to recycling over the next couple days. Those are the real materials we want you to use. Last year, we called this a recycled material project. And what happened was it was more like a repurpose project, and people were using new materials to create something different. That's not what we're looking for. We're actually looking for you to create something, and we do have 4 requirements for things that you want to build. We want you to build using these materials. So the key is that it has been used, it is recycled, it would have ended up in the trash anyways, and we don't want you having to buy anything. That's not the purpose of any of this. So I want you to think about the materials that you will be recycling in the next couple days. Boxes, bottles, plastic utensils, caps, straws. I know how you guys feel about straws. So those would be perfect for this. Glue, rubber bands, tape. I guess you could say those would be the new consumable materials that wouldn't be recycled. String, that would be great. Any of those things could be used for that project. With 7th grade, you are working on your laws of motion posters right now. Well, those are at school. I guess you're not going to work on those right now, but I want you to think about those 3 laws of motion. Think about the nicknames for those 3 laws of motion. We have first law of duh, second law of shopping cart, and the third law of motion, which was a little more complicated than the first 2 to understand. So with that, I'm going to put out a document that has, there are the 3 laws of motion moving violations. They're tickets that you need to fill out and give people for when they, I'm going to say, violate the 3 laws of motion. There's no way you can violate the 3 laws of motion. Whenever there's motion, you do have a relationship to each one of those laws of motion, no matter what you're doing. Kind of talked about that in class. So the only trick is that you have to describe how that law of motion is related to your citation. So at that point, you're going to be kind of like a police officer that is writing people up in your house, your dog, your cat, a plant, it doesn't matter, and how they are, I guess, more participating with that law of motion as opposed to violating that law of motion. And then 8th grade, you guys were working on your Rube Goldberg machines, dealing with simple machines, and some of you were the ones that were finished were working on the cardboard bridge build. Well, let's go with this. Let's think about how you guys are going to. I mean, you don't have to build a Rube Goldberg machine, but I want you to observe. I want you to see things, and as opposed in relation to those simple machines, you're using simple machines every day. The purpose of that was to relate what you do with the experience of the simple machines and the Rube Goldberg machine to see how you experience that every day. Those will be submitted. You can submit those in the STEAM form. So you can put a picture and say, simple enough, like, hey, this is a lever. This is a first class lever. This is a inclined plane. And just make your statement and put it in there. And I'll go ahead and post that on the Kazuka Science Instagram. That's going pretty well. Mr. Emerson's loving those pictures. So get some of those up for him. Right now, there's not much going on. We don't want to overwhelm you with a bunch of STEAM stuff, more just with ideas and activities that you can do when you're bored. What's cool about STEAM and STEM is that everything you do is STEM. So just go out and do it. All right. Have fun. And let me know what you're doing. Got a couple here. Is there someone out there that can tell me they're on with their Schuylkill Valley account? I just got a DM from a couple high school kids that said during the corona virus break, if you want to call it, they are going to be making a Rube Goldberg machine at their house, which is kind of funny. Let's see, working on. Oh, that's great. Okay, so we do have some working on their Schuylkill Valley account. So they're going to be building a Rube Goldberg machine, and I look forward to seeing the videos for that. This is my first broadcast here. I'm still seeing that it's not letting some people look at this on their Schuylkill Valley account. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to shut it down right here, and then I guess I'll type that up. I'm going to shut this down right now. I'm going to get a hold of Mr. Billman and Mr. Whitman and see what I can do, because I want to have the live chat open, and that's been one of the issues that I think is causing this, that you can't see it. So Tracy, you're telling me you can see it on your Schuylkill Valley account? Sorry for the silence. Just looking at the chat coming in. A couple people saying yes. All right. Yes, I cannot see it. All right. So I'm going to shut it down and get a hold of Mr. Whitman, Mr. Google, the Google guy, and try to solve that problem. All right. How about this? I will come back at you at 1 o'clock tomorrow, and hopefully I'll have better luck then. Thanks.